Don't play with fire. That's some darn good advice. Here's some better advice. Don't play with lasers, phasers, or ray guns. Don't play with transporters, matter scramblers, DNA enhancers, corpse reanimators, and plasma injectors. But most of all, don't play with probes. Probes are bad.
Fighting evil so you don't have to know stuff like this.
This tube is the most awesome goddamn force in the whole godless world. And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. TV party tonight! TV party tonight! TV party tonight! TV party tonight! We're gonna have a TV party tonight! Alright! We're gonna have a TV party, alright! Tonight! We got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews. All our friends are gonna hang out here tonight. All right. We'll pass out on the couch. All right. Tonight. We've got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews. Don't talk about anything else. We don't wanna know. We're dedicated to our favorite shows. Saturday Night Live, Monday Night Football, Dynasty, Friday. No TV party tonight.
I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night.
Greetings all, I'm Dubious Khan, and welcome into the Idiot Box, where we take a look at television of the past and present, and try to figure out where things went so horribly, horribly wrong. Second only to movies, is there anything geeks love more than TV?
Sci-fi epics, superheroes, fantasy and magic, supernatural horrors, even organized crime and courtly intrigue. If there's a genre people love to geek out over, TV has an outlet for it. The most successful of these shows managed to break into the mainstream, bringing in an audience much larger than what the show creators may have originally intended.
However, for every genre show that manages to make it big, there's always a bunch more that don't, even when those shows appear to be firing on all cylinders. And today we're going to take a look at one of those casualties. A show that was, in the words of its creator, made for geeks by geeks. A show that was a massive cocktail of multiple genres, pop culture references, comedy, and action, all blended together into an underappreciated gem known as The Middleman.
Created by Lost writer Javier Grillo never mind, here's his name, here's his picture, these are his two dogs, and this is his diabolically sexy wife.
Only two of those statements are actually true.
In any event, Javier, my last name is a bad hand in Scrabble, originally wrote the pilot episode of The Middleman as a spec script, but couldn't find any network willing to take it. After a while, he decided to adapt the script into a graphic novel, which was published by Viper Comics. The comic was a huge hit and led to two more successful graphic novels, which, coupled with Javier what the hell kind of last name is that's renowned for working on shows like Lost and Charmed, meant that networks were finally interested in doing something with the property.
So, in the summer of 2008, ABC Family aired the premiere of The Middleman.
The series opens with the pilot episode sanction, where we meet struggling artist Wendy Watson, played by Natalie Morales, as she temps at a research lab. As she has what seems to be the latest in a series of harassing phone calls from her mother, she's suddenly attacked by what is described in the script as a giant tentacled ass monster. But unlike most female characters that would quickly become the latest in a series of plot points in a Japanese tentacle porn anime, Wendy fights back, and while she holds her own, she is ultimately rescued by an Eisenhower jacket-clad, square-jawed hero type, played by Matt Kiesler.
Alarm systems disengaged.
Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm going to have to ask you to step aside. The human. The one on my left. Heck of a mess, huh?
Excuse me?
I said heck of a mess, huh?
Whatever. I'm a temp.
Hey now, the heat's on its way. Okay, cowgirl, here's your marching orders. Anyone asks, this was a gas main explosion. I was never here. This conversation never took place.
Marching orders? What about the hentai tentacle monster?
Tell the truth if you want, but if you do, I'm going to have to root you like a hog and kill you. Sorry. So, what's it going to be? Keep the secret or death?
What do you think?
Ma'am, specificity is the soul of all good communication.
Yes. Duh.
Outstanding. You're good under pressure.
Are you hitting on me?
Just making an observation.
Hello. Not job. Party of one.
No, ma'am. I'm just the middleman.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
After the paperwork is done and Wendy predictably loses her job, she heads out to find a new one, but has no luck, especially since her lucky lighter she has as a memento from her missing father was found on the scene of the explosion at the science lab. Returning to the illegal sublet she shares with her roommate Lacey, played by Britt Morgan, Lacey reports that another temp agency called wanting to interview her. Wendy goes to the interview and immediately gets the hint that things are not what they seem at the Jolly Fats Weehawken temp agency.
So, what's next? Target practice? Obstacle course? Cavity search?
Don't let your pie hole talk you out of a job, young lady. Wendy Watson. Meet your new boss.
Evening, ma'am.
Is this the part where I ask you who the hell you are and what the hell you do?
Aye. We've got our skivvies in a bunch. Lights? I'm the middleman. You've met Ida. This temp agency is a recruitment front for our organization.
Didn't your test tell you I have issues with authority?
I told you she'd be no good.
Can it, Yoda? We're talking.
I wouldn't go so far as to refer to myself as an authority figure. I'm more like an independent contractor.
What's that mean? You build strip malls? Kill people? What?
I never built strip malls. I solve exotic problems.
Define exotic.
Oh. You ever read comic books?
Yeah, I think Jughead's a real hoot. Powers fell, Astro City, The Spirit, X-Men, old school, not ultimate, Mouse Guard, and The Flash.
Barry Allen or Wally West?
Do you want me to leave?
You know how in comic books there's all kinds of mad scientists and aliens and androids and monsters and all of them want to either destroy or take over the world?
In comic books, sure.
Well, it really does work like that.
Get out.
You already forgot what you saw?
And you're the superhero?
I never wear tights.
I'm crushed.
And so Wendy Watson begins her career in the exciting, high-paying field of temporary employment.
And exciting is almost too mild a term. In the remainder of the pilot, Wendy and the middleman find themselves dealing with a hyper-intelligent gorilla that becomes a mob boss, and the rest of the series has equally bizarre crises to deal with.
How bizarre, you ask? Well...
Aliens that look like plastic surgery mishaps, manic trout-craving zombies, sorority girl ghosts, alien nanomites that turn previously loyal robots into psychotic killers, parallel universes, and luchador mask-wearing martial arts masters.
No, I'm not going to show you a clip of that. Something that awesome you need to track down for yourself.
On to the details of the show itself. As Wendy discovers, she and the middleman work for an organization known as O2STK, which, as it turns out, is actually the middleman's own nickname for his employers.
Someone has exactly 5 seconds to tell me what's going on here before I call the sexual harassment hotline.
How long have I been under?
40 years.
This is amazing. I always knew O2STK had the technology to cryogenically freeze middlemen. O2STK?
Organization too secret to know. It's our little joke. Like you and I had.
WTH,
THWWF.
Whoever the heck we work for.
Oh yes, I almost forgot the other member of our team of heroes. Say hello to Ida.
Ida is an alien robot that somehow came into O2STK's possession and is assigned to work with the current Middleman in terms of technical assistance and logistical support. However, while Ida would normally have the ability to change her outward appearance, her camouflage mode has been stuck on domineering Schoolmarm 2.0. And actress Mary Pat Gleason plays Ida to sarcastic perfection, always quick with an insult, precise in the delivery of information, and in the episode The Clotharian Contamination Protocol, manages to get moments of being both intimidating and likable.
Wait. Hans Gruber with our own robot. Hey, can she see us?
Yes, I can. Kill him. Tea?
No. Thanks.
So, shrunken to lepton size, white void, little people with power tools. Better than Mary Jane, huh?
You are Ida.
I'm Ida's brain. The nanobots have taken over her body. And if you don't stop them in the next 5 minutes, humanity's gonna be rubbing 2 sticks together to power up their coconut phones.
I know. I came to hit your reset button.
Activate my antivirus system, destroy the nanobots, save the world. Oh, honey, that was a good plan.
Thanks. Wait, was a good plan?
The nanobots beat you to it. They trashed my reset button first thing.
What am I supposed to do?
You want to stop the nanobot apocalypse now? You've got to send me back to O2STK. They can fix me, destroy the nanobots, or they'll send you a new Ida. All the same to me.
O2SCK? Organization too secret to know? No one knows how to contact them. Even you said you didn't know who you worked for.
Well, that doesn't mean I don't know how to return a faulty piece of equipment. I may not know who runs the joint, but keeping the middleman in weapons and gadgets and things is my primary function.
Well, how am I going to send you back when Ops is in lockdown? Wait, we must have some kind of channel to O2STK in the building. That's where all the new Interdroids keep coming from.
Kino, just get the middleman to subdue my body and take me back to Ops. I'll show you how to send me back to my maker.
In fact, the entire cast of The Middleman is fantastic. No matter how deranged the plot or how bizarre the dialogue, all the actors play everything perfectly straight, letting the natural Silver Age-style silliness of the show provide most of the humor.
Natalie Morales provides just the right balance of snark and sweetness to Wendy Watson, making for a strong female lead who still occasionally has moments out of her depth in the weird world she's involved in. Plus, the show goes out of its way to show that Wendy loves her job and all the craziness that comes with it.
They coming back from the dead.
And beating you with his own coffin. Sensei Ping has destroyed 100 wannabe middlemen. He'll cut you down like Satan's gnarly fist.
Really? You mean I could fail out of this?
Dubby, you're my hand-picked. I know you'll do well in there, and I'm here to support you every step of the way.
You did sign a living will, right?
Ida.
Sensei Ping made you cry.
He did?
Yeah, and the big green cheese is supposed to be Sensei Ping's favorite apprentice.
He made you cry?
In times of extreme stress, crying is an inevitable physiological response.
Sure it is, Cupcake. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. I'm devoid of human emotion, and that made me want to wince.
You should have been more supportive of her. The psychological advantage in a case like this is crucial.
Oh, sure. I'll get to it after I powder your diaper. That's it. We lost her. I'll get the bugle and the flag.
That was awesome. That was the best thing ever. The teaching, the learning, the laughter, the bonding. I swept the leg.
I guess Sensei Pink's got a new favorite.
Morgan's turn as Lacey Thornfield, Wendy's confrontational spoken word performance artist roommate, provides a nice bit of everyday quirkiness to the series, as well as a love interest for the middleman, or as she calls him.
Hello, Lacey.
Hi, Wendy's boss.
Apparently you have something for me.
Oh, this is for you?
Ah, my toner, wonderful. You can never be too kind to your skin. It is, after all, the largest and most sensitive of the body's organs.
Oh, I got the Tahiti water for it myself.
Tahiti water? You have fundamental issues with bottled water.
My skin thanks you kindly, Lacey, as do I. I hate to delay you any longer, Lacey. I'm sure Ms. Wasserman must be eager to get you back at the office.
Right. Job. Bye-bye, Wendy's boss.
Jake Smollett plays Noser, the musician friend of Wendy and Lacey, and while his role in most episodes is minimal, it's still fun whenever he shows up.
Okay, guys, it's only time for a few more songs, so who wants to try and stump the band?
Kung Fu fighting.
Yeah, I know it.
Scream your love for me!
By that cheesy boy band?
I bet he doesn't know it.
Oh, I know it. Who wants to choose the last song? Let's make it something really hard.
Jesse's Girl.
Whoa. No, I know it. Thank you.
And then there's the man himself.
Matt Kiesler plays the square-jawed, clean-living middleman to the hilt. The middleman is strong-willed, good-hearted, and ready to sacrifice everything, including himself, to protect the world from everything from deranged mad scientists to alien scourges.
But make no mistake, there is one type of evildoer out there whom the middleman will not tolerate.
Pip, the malignant nematode son of my building owner, is ripping me off and selling my work in a gallery.
Just back up 200 feet. Did you say you're being plagiarized? That's dirty pool. I'll clean his clock.
Wait, what happened to taking the middle road and using violence as a last resort?
There's no negotiating with plagiarists, Stubby. You take credit for a man's ideas, you rob his spirit. Now, it's one thing to forego credit for saving the world as a middleman, but art and the artists behind it are what make the world worth saving.
I agree. You should quit immediately and pursue your art full-time.
That's right. So look out, all you unscrupulous cads who use other people's copyrighted material for your own ends. Excuse me for a moment. There. That ought to keep him out.
The Middleman is a cornucopia of geeky references and blink-and-you'll-miss-it one-liners. The writers had standing orders to pick something they were passionate about and work as many references into the episodes they wrote as possible. This leads to some of the best-used throwaway gags in recent TV history.
I've got an address. 55 Ray Parker Jr. Avenue.
Good afternoon, sir. We need a word with your incarcerated ghost caller. I'm Dr. Stantz, and this is Dr. Zeddemore of the Parapsychology Department.
The only people allowed near him are the Metro Police.
Of the Metro Police.
I have a question. Why are you guys in wetsuits and I'm in this Honey Rider Thunderball nightmare?
Our mirror maniacs managed to strike again, this time at a manufacturer of Merriment.
Who steals a beryllium sphere and an oscillation overthruster and then hits a toy factory?
Today, we're grief counselors with the United States Police Force. You're Officer Russell. I'm Officer Van Cleef.
In any event, one of the more interesting plots in The Middleman involved Tyler Ford, Wendy's eventual boyfriend.
Originally appearing helping Wendy out with her car, Tyler's accidental involvement with Wendy on that case led to him having two-day amnesia, thus forgetting that he ever met her. After a brief hiccup where he wound up dating Lacey for a short time, Tyler and Wendy eventually started going out, which led to some concern on the part of the Middleman and Ida, as Tyler was originally their first choice to be recruited into O2STK. This plotline came to a head in the final 2 episodes, where Tyler came to the aid of philanthropic businessman Menservant Neville, owner of Fat Boy Industries, who promptly offered Tyler a job.
Early anyway. You know, that bass player steals his girl, for which I'm infinitely grateful, by the way, but still, he rides the wave to the pop charts of success on his song. These guys are masher chum suckers. No, they're worse. They tried to suck chum, they'd fail, am I right?
Honestly, I think it's the flyer design for his show.
They should have featured him more in the foreground so that people could bask in the sheer power that is his awesomeness and know that if they failed to come to the show, they would miss the newest magic by the guy who really wrote the smash hit Dreams of Monica. Yeah, he wrote it. Tyler, you okay?
I'm fine. Are you okay?
You just saved my life.
Oh, I don't think I...
Well, I do. You selflessly stepped in to mediate a tense situation. when that proved untenable, you took swift action to prevent me from a lethal dose of wood and pine tar. I'm sure you have gainful employment, but if you'd ever find yourself wanting, please, call me.
Are you offering him a job?
The empathy to step in and the gumption to act are rare qualities. I'm always looking for someone with rare qualities.
I don't know if that's me.
I do.
I do. I'll be expecting your call.
Yes, Doctor Who fans, that is Mark Sheppard who played Menservant Neville, and yes, he was also the FBI agent in the Series 6 premiere of Doctor Who. You may commence your fangasming.
The next major clue that all may not be as it seems with Fatboy Industries came in episode 12, The Palindrome Reversal Palindrome, where Wendy took a trip to an evil parallel universe where Fatboy Industries ruled the world, and she also made a couple of astonishing discoveries.
Okay, good. Let's split. This place is giving me the Willy Wonkas.
Lace?
Oh, God. What's behind me?
Just, stay calm.
And don't turn around.
Ah! Man in the bag! Man in the bag!
No. It's Menservant Neville.
Maybe I didn't read my fat Bible close enough, but isn't he supposed to be in charge of this place?
Well, nobody ever sees him because he's so...
Cryogenically frozen?
Wendy, stay away from that thing.
Come on, Lace. You really think Mansicle Neville?
It's you?
I don't understand.
Please, haven't you done enough to me? All I want is out of this misery. I tried to return control to the people, but you betrayed me.
I did? No. I did.
Dub-Dub? Why is there another Dub-Dub?
Put down my cannon. You don't seem surprised to see me. Our Hadar picked up the rip in space. You have a Hadar? There's little in this world I don't have. I know that red ray gun. You killed Tyler? Oh, right. The hottie. Let me guess. You're a good guy in your world? Just like Tyler? Really scraping the bottom of that sidekick barrel, aren't you?
What is going on?
Lacey. So, typically behind the curve. Allow me to explain. When I was 14, my father disappeared. Under mysterious and as of yet unexplained circumstances. Control room combination. It's the day Dad disappeared. So I never forget. Never let go of the feeling of things happening beyond my control. When I saw the tide turn to Fatboy, saw them taking over, I figured, why not be on the side of control for once? After a year of assisting the great Menservant Neville, I saw what he really wanted. To loosen Fatboy's grip, give the power back to the people, and go green, whatever the hell that means. And so, we went our separate ways. His was into this cryobed. You secretly rule Fatboy.
That explains the no-camera policy.
Guys, when I asked what was going on, I meant about you two being twins.
She's me from a parallel universe, you imbecile. And yes, Joe 90, there are no cameras here. Can't have anyone seeing me now, can I?
No, ma'am.
Thanks for sounding the silent alarm.
So if in the evil universe, Menservant Neville created a corporation that was evil and domineering, and yet had a change of heart and wanted to take it in the other direction, then that would mean that in the good universe, where Fatboy Industries is a large, benevolent, philanthropic organization, sadly, we'd never get a resolution to this plot line. At least, not on the air. Because for all of the creativity, all the brilliant writing and acting, all the nerdy in-jokes, there was still one villain that the Middleman ultimately would not be able to vanquish. The Nielsen's.
ABC Family originally ordered 13 episodes of The Middleman. However, this was reduced to 12 episodes down the line. And later word came down that the show had been canceled due to low ratings. There was a 13th episode written, the Doomsday Armageddon Apocalypse, which resolved the Fat Boy Industries storyline, but the whole thing came full circle when that script was turned into a comic book, released by the publishers of the original books, Viper Comics.
The Middleman is the epitome of the phrase, brilliant but canceled. The show had an old-fashioned sense of right and wrong, which it managed to mix beautifully with action, comedy, and heart. Shout Factory's come to our rescue once again by releasing the entire series on DVD, along with a ton of extras about the making of the show. Now, as far as the Doomsday Armageddon Apocalypse is concerned, well, the comic went out of print a few years ago. Viper Comics is no longer offering it through its online store, and the cheapest I've been able to find a used copy for is about $65 on Amazon. And keep in mind, that's from a $7.99 original cover price. But if you have no interest in owning a copy, Javier Grillo-Marxwatch, and yes, that is how his last name is actually pronounced, has put an official video on YouTube from 2009's Comic-Con where the original cast did a table read of the Doomsday Armageddon Apocalypse. So you can get a sense of closure there. Just do a search for The Middleman 13th episode and you'll find it easily. If you like comics, comedy, and a sense of the surreally silly, I cannot recommend this show enough, and I suggest everybody, even if you've never heard of it, to take a look at it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I'm Dubious Khan. Join me next time for another trip into the Idiot Box.